when Joe Hebert, he was a young black man that was killed by the police. And it was plain that the policeman murdered him while he fell down. However, the police tried to bring about a story that he was running from them. He was wanted for burglary in Woodinville, and they chased him over here to the central area over on Yesler, and he was running from them, and he turned on them with a shiny object in his hand, which later they said was a knife. But we had evidence that Joe Hebert was actually running from the police because he was scared of what the police would do to him if they caught him, and he slipped and fell, hit his head on the sidewalk, and the officer shot him while he was down on the ground and actually murdered him. So what we were able to do, we were able to get with Joe Hebert's family, because his family, some of his family members were related to me. So we were actually able to get to his mother, get permission, and we got a lawyer right away, and we were able to get permission to go to the medical examiner's office. We jumped right on it before the police could establish medical examiner evidence that would coincide with their story. So we were able to take Polaroid pictures of Joe Hebert at the medical examiner, his body at the medical examiner's office. We were able to determine where the entry wound was, where the exit wound was. So we were able to determine that the entry wound was actually the back of his head and the exit wound was actually the front of his head. Now, they didn't know we had this information, so they came out with a police report with their story, you know, like this. And so we came out with the information, that the true medical examiner information we had, and presented it to the media. So now here we have a story, you know, like that. It's not just a bunch of, you know, wild panthers saying that paranoid panthers saying that the police actually murdered Joe Hebert. We have evidence, pictures, and everything, you know, like that. So the whole city was mobilized, and we called it the Justice for Joe Committee. So it's my job to set up press conferences. And one thing about a press conference, you have to be careful, because what they do, they take a 1-minute soundbite from what you said. If we say, you know, police are striking against us, now we must strike against the police, they'll leave out police are striking against us, or all the evidence that you present, and say we must strike against the police, and that'll go on the 6 o'clock news. So I had to be careful about the media people that I selected. I had to make sure that they were actually allies in our camp, you know, that they actually sympathized with us, and to allow to come to the press conferences, and even from the major news stations and stuff. So we had certain reporters that did sympathize with our struggle, and those was the ones that I would give the scoop to, or the story to. Sometimes we'd have closed press conferences and stuff. Sometimes we do exclusives. You know, we didn't invite all the media in. And then when that news would break, then the rest of the media would come in, and the rest of the city would be able to get a basically true glance of what we're really dealing with, you know, like that. So yeah, I had to deal with the media quite a bit.